Colombia is calling a new land of opportunity? Well, let's be honest here. Life in the US can be a grind. The cost of living is insane, and it feels like the rat race is never ending. So, for this reason, more and more American men are looking for an escape, and they're finding it in Colombia. The South American nation is quickly becoming a hotspot for expats, but what's the appeal? Well, for starters, it's way cheaper, but it's more than that. Colombia offers a different pace of life, sunshine, salsa, cultural values, connections. Is it perfect? No, nowhere's perfect. But for some, it's a chance at a fresh start. And that's all they get asked for. Now, I want to talk about the allure of affordability, right? You're trading the pesos for the dollars. Let's talk about this money. Now, in the US, it makes it feel like it's impossible with the rent going so high. Healthcare feels like a joke. Any good luck is needed, right? Because buying a house is getting more and more hard. Well, men are going to Colombia because it feels cheaper. I mean, your money goes further. Think about it. You can rent a nice apartment in Medellin for a fraction of the cost of New York City, and eating out is cheap. And don't get me started on the healthcare either. That's a lot cheaper as well. Now, the lower cost of living means more freedom, so you can do more than you're used to back home. It's no wonder Americans are taking this leap, right? You feel like, oh, I can go here, it's chill, it's something different. I want to embrace this. It's not like, I feel trapped like when I'm back home, The cost of living is so much cheaper. Another reason people are leaving is the culture, right? You want to embrace the culture. Life in the US is all about hustle, work. Every day I'm hustling. You feel like the Rick Ross song from years ago, right? You're working, you're grinding, exhausting. I feel like it's ever going. Well, Colombia is like a different rhythm, right? People say the life there is slower, more relaxed. They say the Colombians value connection more. Now, they take time for family and friends. That comes from the Spanish influence, right? I stayed in Spain for a little while, and I could see how they value family and friends a lot. A lot of Americans want this fresh air, and that's what caused them to go to Colombia. But every place will have its differences. So let's talk about some of the cultural differences. Like, you have the beaches, you got the bars, all that. That sounds good, right? But moving to a new country is not always easy, right? And Colombia is no different. There are some cultural differences. There is a language barrier if you don't speak the Spanish language. It's not common, allegedly, for people to speak English, so I would recommend learning Spanish. Don't expect everything to be like back home as far as on time and the speed at which you're used to getting things done. Remember, you're a guest in another culture, another country, so respect their place. Don't go into anyone's house coming in, oh, I gotta do it like this, blah, blah, blah. No, you're in their house, so embrace their culture. Speaking of the culture, they are known for being very warm, right? Mi casa es su casa, right? That's the saying. One thing that surprises many experts is the warmth of Colombians. They're known for the hospitality, their friendliness, and just the overall happiness of life. Don't be surprised if you're invited to a family gathering or strangers strike up conversation with you randomly in the middle of the street, right? They have that Spanish influence, as I stated before, so this is not uncommon, and they can be very friendly towards outsiders. This warmth can make all the difference when you're far from home. You feel like you have a place away from your place. Even though you're not born there, you can feel it. Now, you don't have to take my word from it, right? You don't have to take the internet's word from it. Now, you can talk to a lot of Americans who have been there, and you'll see that they come with the same conclusion. Why is Colombia trending lately? You see Thailand, Vietnam, all these other places. But have you noticed, if you're a travel YouTuber or you're in the travel space, that this has becoming an up-and-coming topic? Even Vice, the famous documentary series, is forced to get on board with this and talk about what's going on. I will say you have to be very cautious when it comes to the scopamine, though, right? Every place has its challenges. Moving to Colombia is not going to be all sunshine and roses. There will be challenges. You may face it at the bureaucracy. You may face it with the individuals. It may be the culture shock. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of safety concerns. There has been people who have even passed away from the scopolamine. So I would just say be very careful when you're over there. Scopolamine is like a date drug where it's been known that some of the women may potentially put it in your drink or put it in your presence. So be careful of that. Now let's talk about the pros and cons, right? I want to weigh the pros and cons. You're thinking about Colombia. You saw this video. You're like, hey, should I go? Should I not? Well, let me ask you a question. Are you willing to learn a new language? As stated before, English is not that common. So you will not only have to learn that, but a new culture, a new way of living. You have to step outside of your comfort zone. If you're looking for an easy escape, Colombia may not be it. You have to embrace a totally new way of life. Be prepared to change your mind in ways that you may have not been prepared. But hey, it might be the perfect fit, right? So let's talk about the new beginning. Colombia isn't a place just to go if you're like, oh, I want to escape, I want to get away from America. That can be fuel for it, but you have to find happiness on your own terms. More and more Americans are realizing this. They're not just coming for the cheap living. They're coming for the culture, the people, the chance to live a life of passion and purpose. Who knows? Maybe you'll be next. Leave a comment down below if you're interested in going to Colombia.